Hello, hello! We are on our way to onboarding our first hire or our next hire, whatever, your hire. This is so important. If you need to watch this 3 times to get it to really sink into your head that this is so important, this is probably the most critical and crucial step to helping your team member have true success and to really make the most money out of this investment, do it. Today we're talking about onboarding. Why is this so important? This is when expectations are set, crucial components of the job are learned. You are giving your team member the responsibility and authority and autonomy that increases ownership, which increases output. And you are giving yourself time and space to truly evaluate them, to see their needs, and to help them grow in your company. This is so critical. If I can impart just how crucial it is to take your time in onboarding, then I've done my job. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how long, and you might freak out, a typical onboarding phase needs to be. I'm going to tell you anyway. A typical and successful onboarding process should take 90 days. Yes, that is 3 months. It is going to be 3 months until your new hire is successfully onboarded and you are reaping the financial benefits of your hire. But it's so important to take your time and to really help them get their roots. And that's not to say that your business is not going to grow in the first 90 days, but you should be giving yourself and your first hire time and space to grow without the financial strain and pressure. You should not be meeting with them on the 2nd week or even the 4th or 5th or whatever and say, okay, how are you making my business money? No, let's not do that. Okay. So in this video, we're going to talk about the first 90 days of your new hire's tenure under your leadership. We're going to identify some introductory assignments, and that will increase their responsibility, build their confidence, and deepen your trust in them over time. So let's start with day 1. This is so important. It's probably the most important day in your onboarding process. This is where you don't overload them with tasks and projects. You're not having a sit down and saying, here are all the things you're going to do right now. Here are all the things that I don't want to do anymore. Have fun doing them all in week 1. This is not what we're doing on day 1. Day 1, it's so important to define the purpose of this role with this person and allow yourself and your hire to vision cast today. The first day is the most important day to a new hire. This sets the tone of their tenure and it helps them understand their expectations, what your expectations are for them. And they're going to determine today exactly, they're going to set their expectations of what it's going to be like to work with you. So if you want them to have fun at this new job and to really grow and flourish, the first day is crucial to setting that expectations. If you don't give them anything to do and you're just helping them, you're just hoping that they figure it out as they go, that lack of expectation, that lack of structure on day 1 is going to tell them what it's going to feel like to work with you. And I guarantee they're not going to last very long and you're going to have high turnover. Okay, so that being said, on this first day, it's so important to define your purpose and I want you to sit down and get your journal out. Paint a picture of a perfect first day. How do you want your new hire to really feel? And even think about some of your first days that you've ever had. I am thinking about one where actually for the first 3 months, I never knew what I was supposed to be doing. And I would ask people all the time, what what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be working on today? And the projects that they gave me, I could do in like 30 minutes. And so I would sit there trying to figure out how to take a 30-minute task and make it last an entire week. It was not fun. And the first 3 to 6 months were like that. So, how do you want your team member to feel on that first day? What will the itinerary look like? What are 2 to 3 things that they should focus on for their first week, and how can you introduce that to them on day 1? What are some helpful things they'll need to get started? What will they need to learn directly from you? What kind of videos can you record ahead of time? What kind of resources can you provide to them so that you're not having to sit there and take them through everything on their first day? So what do they need to learn from you, and what resources can they learn from? And what are some ways that you can make this first day enjoyable for your new hire? How can you guys connect personally? And I really encourage you to sit down this very first day together and vision cast. Share with them. So you've already done this in the interview process. You've told them what your vision for this role is. But on this first day, now that you know it's them who is fulfilling this role, you need to tell them how you see them growing in this role, and then ask them, what are their dreams to grow in this role? Because there might be some differences, and you might be able to learn something from them. They might bring some perspective that you never thought about, and you want to infuse in this role. This role might need to grow into something much more than you could ever imagine. So day 1, it's so important to do those things. The first 30 days, so we're going to be talking about onboarding in 3 phases. The first 30 days, it is so important for them to learn and connect. Learn the job, learn your expectations, learn about the company, learn about the team, learn about the clients, learn, and connect with the role. So when you are bringing on somebody, when you have a new hire, they're actually working 2 jobs. They are doing the task at hand. They're fulfilling the actual job and assignments that they need to be doing, but they're also adjusting. It's a full-time job to learn the culture of your team, to assimilate to the environment and conditions of the job, to learn the clients, to learn the personalities on the team, to learn how to navigate the different relationships that they have to navigate with clients, with you, with their team members, with contractors, with whoever they need to come in contact with on a daily basis. It's 2 jobs. So that's why you need to give them so much space and a lot of resources during that first 30 days to help them learn. Number 2, the next phase is that 60-day mark. So in the next 30 days, so there's the first 30 days, this is the next 30 days, they are building out their role. They've spent time learning the job, the business, the company, the mission, the vision, the clients. They've learned, they've acclimated, and now it's time for them to bring on their expertise. And how can they bring their zone of genius to this role and grow it and put their own stamp on it, really. So I want you to think about what are some areas in your business you would like them to take the lead, to step in and create strategies that you don't already have in place. For example, if you're hiring for a social media manager, in the second 30 days, this is where you can task them with, okay, audit our social media output, audit our social media strategy, and create one of your own. What this does is it allows them to take what they've learned and to impart their own perspective and their zone of genius, while also giving them ownership and responsibility to make a difference. And it also gives you a place to see, okay, what can you bring to the table uniquely? You've learned, you spent some time learning, acclimating, growing roots. Now I want you to step up a little bit and kind of flex your muscles and see what you can do. Kind of give them space to run and to bring new ideas to the table. Then in that last 30 days, this is where, so after they've created their strategy, their audit, and they're taking the lead on a project. They create a strategy and they say, okay, here's how I want to impart my own expertise to this role. They've presented it to you and you give approval. Then in that last 30 days, this is a time for you to let them run with it. Okay, go. Implement that strategy. Go full force. Do everything you need. Here are all the resources that you've requested that you need to make this happen. But you, as CEO, need to sit back and start evaluating that. Evaluate, determine what key performance indicators you need to start watching. Invite them to watch too. Hey, I'm going to be taking note of how many people are liking our Instagram page? How many people are watching our Instagram lives? How many people are liking each post? How many people are clicking over to our website? These are the things that I'm going to be evaluating the effectiveness of your campaign on. And I want you to take note of these too, because at the end of this 90 days, we're going to be talking about the performance of your strategy and the effectiveness of what you've done. So everybody's on the same page. Allow them to flex their muscles, to implement the strategy and their ideas, take lead on a project, determine how you're going to evaluate that, and then at the end of the 90 days, you're getting together for an evaluation meeting where you're talking about, okay, what are the biggest struggles that you've had in the first 90 days? Where do you see yourself flourishing? Here's how I've seen your effectiveness in our company. And here are some ways that I think that we can grow together over time, that you can grow in your role and maybe learn. How can you start coaching them? What are some areas where they are weak and that you can coach and pour into them? So that evaluation at the end of the 90 days is really important to establish a coaching relationship and this expectation that you want them to grow and you want to see them succeed. And you're not just going to let their mistakes or the ways that their campaign might have failed, you're not just going to let that. You're not going to brush that under the rug. You want to highlight that and say, okay, here are some areas that we can grow. This is great because this time next year, you're going to tackle these obstacles and we're going to pour into this and you're going to grow to new levels and you're going to increase your, you're going to become more of an asset to this company over time. This is key for establishing that relationship of growth. And trust me, if you treat your onboarding in this way, you're going to have hires that will stick around for the long haul, and they're going to take ownership of their role and ownership of their place in your company. And you're going to grow tighter as a team over time, and your business will flourish because of it.